New year, new me, everybody always says, but let's be real, nobody means it. So we're going to go through my process as a business owner that I take to start off every year right. I feel like there's a good way to do things, and there's a good way to kind of build the building blocks for your business every year. Because it's a new year, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the steps that I take to set myself up for success in the future. And to do that, we're going to have to hop into the computer. But first, if you don't know who I am, my name is Jeremy Levison, and I run, own, and operate Levison Media Group, which is a small business and nonprofit marketing company here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Our goal is to help nonprofits and small businesses survive and be able to market themselves. And one of the things that I talk about here on this channel a lot is production work. So I will have some production vlogs scheduled for this year, but I also am going to start talking more about business stuff for creative entrepreneurs. So if that's something that you're interested in, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified when I post more videos. Now with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into the computer. And the first thing we're going to take a look at is this profit and loss calculator. So it's a very simple, easy way to track your income and expenses. Now, generally, I go through my QuickBooks, but that's basically for my CPA, and then I just kind of keep track on my own this way. Basically, this is a revenue, expenses, and total income. And down here, you have revenue and expenses. So under the revenue, I have basically set this so that anytime I put in a client and I put in an amount, you'll see $1,000. Let's say I do another job for $2,500. You see, this is starting to calculate from these two. So those are calculating that. And then this number right here gets put back into the revenue. So you can see like January revenue, $3,500. So then if I go into expenses and let's say the cost is buy a new camera for $3,500. Well, then you're going to see zero. My profit year to date is zero. If I do, let's say I bought the 6K Pro this year, even though I bought it last year, $1,600. Go back, profit for the year or for the month is $1,900. So basically $1,900 is what I see. So this is a very easy way of doing things so that you can kind of keep track of like what you're doing and how you're doing things. This was actually made for me by my sister. This is a very easy and simple way of doing things that kind of helps you keep manual tracking of your budget. And I think that's really important because money can go quickly. We've got subscriptions, we've got gear, we've got everything, and that's not something that's very easy to always kind of keep track of. So this is a good way to do it, and I really want to get better at it because last year I wanted to see, okay, what was I making month to month, so I can see, okay, where are my months that are slower so that I can start like pushing to get more work during those months. I'm trying to put more focus on doing it this year. This is a profit and loss sheet. It's pretty easy to make. The next thing that I want to talk about is also in Excel, and it's this 2025 production tracking. Now, I've tried to track my jobs and things throughout the past couple years. And what I noticed is that during the the quick times, I forget to import or type in all of the information that I need. So one of the things that I do when I get home from every shoot is I dump footage, dump photos, and what I want to do is basically add in to dumping all of that stuff, then filling out this sheet. So dump footage, as the footage is dumping, fill out this sheet. Now, if you haven't seen it, there's a guy named Blaze Pivovar on YouTube. He did a similar style video of this kind of thing. I will link that here. I've actually been doing this for the past 2-3 years. I have a certain way of doing things, the way my brain works. So I did take some of the stuff that Blaze said in his thing and I'm applying it to here. But for the most part, this is kind of like a way my brain works. I'll try to put this in a link in the description if you want to download it for free. So anyway, this is basically just a way to track the status of jobs. So here I have initial convo, pre-production, production, post-production, review, and completed. And that way I can kind of know what status we're in. Obviously, if we're in an initial combo and they don't proceed forward, then I just delete the job from there. But that's how it goes. So then you have date for the date, client, what's the type? Now, this is also a drop-down, photo, video, or both. A lot of the time I do photo and video hybrid events for one of my main clients. And so basically what I do is I'll put both for that, or if it's a job where I'm doing like corporate lifestyle shoots and, you know, a testimonial video or a brand video or whatever, then I could put photo, video, and both. Then project summary is basically what was the project, what did it entail. And the reason I like this, and I took this part from Blaze, was basically if you go back in and someone asks you for, you know, 25 lifestyle images and a, you know, 3-minute brand video, you can look back, and if you have one like that, you can see, okay, I charged, you know, $10,000 for that. Then, you know, you can put that input into this full amount. What's the retainer? Usually for me, it's a 50% charge. So it's like, what is the retainer amount? Is the retainer paid? And that's a checkbox, which I really like because it's easier. What's the full amount? Is that paid? Okay, so it's paid. So you can be like, cool. A lot of the time, I'm constantly wondering whether something has been paid out or not. So this is a good way for me to be like, okay, is this paid? If it's not, you know, what's the holdup? And then I have net income, which basically takes this cost and expenses. And I'm actually probably going to put in a formula here that basically says this, or the, you know, this minus this equals this. So then I don't even have to put in, or, you know, whatever, you know. So basically it'll calculate for me my net income. So that way I can say, okay, if I had charged them $10,000 for this, but I hired an assistant for 2 days, that's $1,000. And then, okay, I also had to rent a red Komodo, that's $500. So $1,500 in cost or expenses occurred. So then I only make $8,500. It's like, okay, cool. So anyway, that's how I do that. And then I have the payment due, like when is the payment due? I'm going to add on another column here that's going to be a checkbox, and it's going to be RAID array and Backblaze. Basically, where is it backed up? And I do that just so that I know, like, okay, I can delete it if it's been put on here, and then I can, and it's on Backblaze, I can format it, the card, or I can, you know, delete it off my SSD. So this is a really good way to kind of like track your jobs, so you can look back and think, okay, what jobs did I do and when did I do them? And then you can kind of keep a record of like all the stuff that you've done. So for me, this is something that I swear by, just keeping track and keeping organized. And then the last thing that I like to do is I like to, every single year before I start the year, I like to have fresh drives. That's something that, like, for me, I love to have fresh drives. I like to basically take all of my SSDs, like this one here. I have this Hunt Scholars Promo, Orientation Leadership Project, SMU, Relish, FAQ, Wilshire, Updated Shots. Basically, all of this, except for this one, is almost ready to delete. This one, I just finished the project. This one's already been done. This one, I'm finishing up the project. So basically, I will be able to format this drive. Basically, I like to clear all of my drives. So basically, I have this RAID backup here. I have my 2024, and I'm gonna just go through and I'm gonna transfer everything over, make sure everything's done, and then I can kind of format that stuff from the drive. That way I don't have to think about it. These are the things that I like to do every single year. I really believe in starting fresh. I really believe in starting off the year right. I think this really gives you like a good starting point for the year and where you are, you know, throughout the year. So with the expense tracking, you can see, okay, am I hitting my expenses, you know, track? I hope this helps. I hope this is something that you can take and like watch and implement into your own strategy. I know this isn't fun. I know this isn't sexy, but this is the kind of stuff that like when you're running your own company, you have to be aware of. You have to be on top of, because if you're not, then you will fail because you will miss a deadline or you will not get an invoice. Whatever it is, you need this, and it's an important thing. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have any suggestions for me, put them in the comment section below. I'll have a whole video out on my RAID drive and how I organize my projects for the year. So hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified when I post more videos. This year, I actually want to focus a lot more on business than production work. I will still be doing my vlogs, but I want to focus more on business tips for people, because there are a lot of younger creatives from my content that I've noticed that have questions. And so I want to get some ideas out there. I've been running this business for 3 years now, and it's been successful, and I love it, and I just have learned so much. So if you are interested in staying to see that, please hit the notification bell and the subscribe button, and be ready for those. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope that your year starts off great.